Empathy means listening. Empathy means responding. Empathy means acting with urgency. But will you ever find that in the contraption called Nigeria? Never ever. Empathy is dead and buried in Nigeria. Not from the government, not even from the citizens. So many of them, they do not care. No empathy whatsoever. Unfortunately, many citizens feel their suffering does not receive the level of attention it deserves. Many feel that public officials are disconnected from everyday reality. And that is what it is. Completely disconnected. They do not care and they do not want to know what is going on. Many feel that political debates often overshadow the human consequence of insecurity. And that is the truth. Go to their conventional media. All they speak about is about election. In the midst of the insecurity where millions are losing their life, people are losing their means of livelihood. Go to their conventional media. The headlines you're going to see is PDP, APC, election and no election, P2B and Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar. Why innocent citizens are dying every day. Whether these perceptions are entirely fair or not, they reveal something important that must be looked into. Trust between citizens and institutions must be strengthened because the trust is dead. Will it ever be strengthened? The answer is no. I want you to put your mind down and you understand the reason the people of Biafra are bent on walking out of Nigeria. It is not out of hate, not because of marginalization, not because of resources. It is to save life. Trust cannot be demanded. Trust must be earned. Trust grows when citizens see results. Trust grows when leaders communicate honestly. Trust grows when people feel heard. Trust grows when government action reflects the urgency of the crisis. But that is not the case in the contraption called Nigeria. You and I know that. Though some of us lie to ourselves. Some of us are complicit in this crime. We join them in promoting the nonsense they are promoting, and we lost empathy. The rise of insecurity also carries serious economic consequences. Investors seek stability. Businesses need predictability. Farmers need safety. Entrepreneurs need confidence. Workers need security. Without security, economic growth becomes difficult. For some of you who are hoping that Nigeria is one day going to be like Dubai, keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. You might just wake up one day and you find yourself beside your ancestors. And then you will know what you have done to yourself. The earlier you add your voice to the disintegration of Nigeria, the better. Without security, poverty can worsen. Without security, opportunity diminishes. Without security, development slows. A nation cannot fully prosper while fear dominates daily life. This is why security is not merely a law enforcement issue. It is an economic issue. It is a social issue. It is a humanitarian issue. It is a national development issue. Many experts around the world use various indicators to evaluate state capacity. All you need to do is look to Nigeria and you tell the world what it is. These indicators include the ability to provide security, maintain public trust, enforce law, deliver service, and protect citizens. Nigeria does not have that ability. When these areas experience persistent challenges, concerns naturally arise. People begin asking difficult questions, just like people are asking today. Both those who support the agitation and those who do not support the agitation, even the ones who claim to want Nigeria, are asking themselves questions. People begin debating whether institutions are functioning effectively. People begin wondering whether urgent reform are needed. This concern should not be dismissed. The international community should pay attention. Because we know for Nigeria, they will not do anything. Nigeria is functioning the way they want it to function. So we are not speaking to the Nigerian government because they won't do anything. This issue, they should be addressed through constructive dialogue and practical solution. The objective should never be to create panic. The objective should be improvement. The objective should be accountability. The objective should be national progress. Now let us discuss the international community. When people say the world must pay attention, they are not necessarily calling for interference. Rather, they are calling for awareness. They are calling for support for humanitarian efforts. They are calling for global attention to the challenges facing ordinary Nigerians. So whenever we are shouting online, Biafrans, we are not necessarily calling for war. We're not calling for invasion. We are calling for attention to be paid and the right thing to be done. We are calling for partnership that strengthens security, development, education, economic, and opportunities. The world has a moral responsibility to care whenever human suffering becomes widespread, like in Nigeria today. Human lives has equal value regardless of nationality. The suffering of a farmer in a rural community matters. The suffering of a student matters. The suffering of a trader matters. The suffering of a teacher matters. The suffering of a child matters. This dignity, human dignity matters everywhere. However, the ultimate responsibility for solving Nigerian challenges remain within Nigerians and Nigerian institutions. But you and I know that the institutions are dead, and the Nigerians themselves are the weakest set of citizens I've ever seen in the planet Earth. The weakest set of the weakest set of citizens I've ever seen. And why is it so? Probably because Nigeria is not a nation, has never been. So nobody wants to put his life on the line for Nigeria. The only people who have tried in the past are the Biafrans. They have tried, and the result was brutal. Loss of life, shedding of blood. So we are not going to try to salvage Nigeria anymore. Not ever. Never again. We have done it when it was necessary to be done. But now, the only solution now is disintegration. Lasting solution cannot be imported. They must be built through effective governance, strong institution, responsible leadership, active citizenship, and national unity, which is completely absent in Nigeria. So what should happen moving forward? In a sane country, security must remain an absolute priority. But that is not the case in Nigeria. Communities must feel included in decision-making processes. That is not the case in the zoo. Transparency, accountability should be strengthened. Never. It will not happen in Nigeria. Support to victims of violence should be expanded. But in Nigeria, they don't support the victim of violence. Instead, they support the aggressor themselves. Instead of Nigeria to support victims, they are supporting the aggressors. That is why you see Boko Haram placed on salary, giving good jobs, sent to Saudi Arabia for Hajj. Meanwhile, the victims are still in the IDP camp. That is the Nigeria for you. Investment in education and economic opportunities should continue. Who wants to invest in education in Nigeria? When the northern part of Nigeria is telling you that education is haram. The same people that feel the education is haram, government is relating with them, fornicating with them every day. Institution must be strengthened to improve public confidence. Which institution? Is it the police, the army, the EFCC, or what? Go and see what they do. Go and check their news. They are the worst thing that can happen to you. Their court is the worst thing that can happen to you. So which institution are we talking about to save the people? In a safe country, leaders at all levels must demonstrate empathy through both words and action. But in Nigeria, empathy is dead. The leaders do not have empathy on the citizens at all. They don't care. Empathy is not weakness. Empathy is leadership. Empathy is recognizing that every policy affects real people. Empathy is understanding that citizens deserve respect, dignity, and protection. But you cannot have empathy in Nigeria. I'm going to play some videos to show you what it looks like to be a Nigerian. You're going to see the video of what Nigerians are facing and what it looks like to be in that zoological republic called Nigeria. For some of you who do not know what it feels like. Because when we talk about these issues and we don't show it to you, you will not understand and you wouldn't know how serious it is. A broken system. A system that can never, ever, ever be amended. A system that can never, ever survive. That is what you have in the contraption called Nigeria. I'm going to show you some images of a system that you have in that contraption called Nigeria, so that we begin to understand what it looks like when we are talking about the situation of Nigeria. Because sometimes people do not understand. Some will think we are making it up. That is the funniest thing. That is why people don't take it serious. Some actually think that we are making things up. But do you blame them? You don't blame them. You don't blame them. Because most of them have been in fraud for a long time. So everything that you present to them looks like fraud.
No worry, I know video.
Are you getting it?
Just listen.
Turn the camera away, please.
Now you are the video.
Leave. Thank you. How many minutes is there?
This is just 40 seconds.
40 seconds. My dearest people, I be not there bush, not before my tell them may they carry me go. It's recording, Abby. The more you go in Delta State, the more you see things for yourself. I am at Ukalokute.
This thing is happening in Delta State. These are people that Some of them idiotically will begin to talk about their Niger Delta this and Niger Delta that. In a place where they get all the wealth and oil. Listen carefully and hear her.
And this is a primary health center.
What you are seeing in that forest is a primary health center in Delta State. Primary health center covered with bush in a thick forest. Primary health center in a Niger Delta region, Delta State to be precise. Could you imagine? Somebody have taken this money, appropriated by the government, and put it in his pocket. Look at the forest covered with, look at the building covered with grasses everywhere. Thick forest. Primary health center in Delta State. That is what you are seeing too. Watch.
See the building. They said they did it to litter level, as you can see. Please come closer. They need to see it. They said this is a primary health center. Over 8 years. Please stand. Because for them to do this, meaning, okay, go back a bit. For them to do this, meaning it has already been written for it to be on this litter level. More than 16 years. This is a primary health center. More than 16 years. In Ukalokute. In Delta State.
Delta State, Ukalokute. That's Igbo land. That they splitted and called them Delta and all that, deceiving them and confusion. In a place where resources, where the oil is come. Look at their primary health center. Inside the forest. After 8 good years, the building has been there. They built it to linter level and grass, forests have covered everywhere. And the money have been fully taken.
Is rich. Delta State is rich. When it comes to oil, we have. When it comes to mineral resources, we have. Name it. We are blessed in Delta State. Nothing prepared me for another primary health center that is uncompleted building in the bush. In the oh, Jesus Christ. This is a primary health center. For over 16 years, they dumped it. They said they want to deliver their child. They go straight to Ebu. They fly to Ebu to deliver child. From Ukalokute. In a local government where millions of naira comes in monthly. What are they doing with the money? They are the chairman of Oshibili North. Please, what are you doing with their money? Please. Why is these people, why do they not have a proper health center in 2026? So do you mean to tell me that a pregnant woman will leave her house in pain and go to a boo in 2026? Delta North leaders, you people are wicked. You people are very wicked. You people are selfish and greedy. I have not seen this type in my entire life. Why will you abandon a primary health center? Is one of the most important things the people need. Important and amenities people need. And this is what you have in 2026. God damn it. Now look at the road to a primary health center. I did not come to farm. Oh. This is the road. Please watch your leg, please. This is the road. In 2026. This is the road. Oshimili North, Dalunu. This is the road to a supposed primary health center. And there are houses around, though. Look at it. There are houses around. So why did you people abandon these people? Tell me why you abandoned them. Now I know who they go abandon.
That is Nigeria for you. So when we are talking about the contraction called Nigeria and why you cannot, we will not be part of it. This is what Nigeria looks like. A failed system where human life no longer matters. A failed system where human life does not matter anymore. That is what we are seeing. We are still going to try and get some other videos also to show you what it feels like to be in the contraction called Nigeria. Everybody have had it up to their neck. Nobody is keeping silent anymore. Everybody is talking. Gone are the days when people keep silent and pretend all is well. Everybody is now speaking. And it is not just speaking, you must take action. Everybody must take action. Because there is nothing to wait for. If you're waiting for change to come, change will never come. It is you that will rise up and change things. That is why the Biafrans are rising. That is why we are not looking back. That is why we are not considering anything except a breakup.
This terrorism that is going on in the north is going on in Niger Delta, Yaba. Now all our community would have been a desert. Then all our chiefs and our kings would have been in prison. To tell you that you, this federal government, you people are biased and wicked. And you people hate Niger Delta, including the Biafra and the Igbo land. You people hate Igbos. 1999, what happened? You know, did they kill only 7 police? Obasanjo wipe out the community, kill more than 500 people. That is the Yorubas. The Yorubas are one of our biggest problems in this country, especially with the Niger Delta and the Igbos. Now again, in Delta to Bayelsa State, illegal bunkering army men, people that are doing illegal bunkering, that is those army men, have a problem with their colleagues. Unfortunately, they lost their life. They wipe army more than 6 community, kill more than thousands of people, arrest people, the killer people wanted. But now, look at in the north, since 2012, they have been killing military generals, killing innocent people. No community you people have invaded as federal government, Nigeria army. You people have not arrested any chiefs in that north. You people have not arrested any kings in that north. So you people, the federal government power is for only the Niger Delta and the Biafrans, the Igbos. Look at the IPOB that are fighting for their freedom. You call them terrorists. Killing them, arresting them, doing all sorts of nonsense in that Igbo land. But look at the north. Rather, people are saying that we should pray for the terrorists, the Fulanis and the Bogaran, that they need repentance. You people are wicked. You only exercise your power in Niger Delta region and Igbo region. They kill how many generals? No arrest. But right, in that Sokoto, that emir of Sokoto would have been in prison. Because you know what is going on. Half of the terrorists are his boys. But you people should allow that man to live. He's still talking, giving order in the country. You people are wicked. So our chiefs, they are not worth anything. Our kings, Niger Delta king are nothing. The Biafran kings, the Igbo kings are nothing. It is only the Northern kings and the Yoruba kings are worthy to do anything they like, to talk anything they like. We can never be one. Nigeria must divide. Already now the Kala is a great prophet. He has already prophesied everything. And everything he spoke and he said has come to pass as a prophet. Though that for now is in that prison, it will be free. I know Biafra must come to pass. And Niger Delta must join Biafra. Because the cheating and the oppression is too much. I can look at what is going on. You people have not invaded any community in that north. You people have not arrested any king. Emir of Sokoto would have been in prison. All these years, you people even more than how many years? Carry are you well? The license gave Emir of Sokoto how many months are close to 23 are you well? It's only one man. And look at the evil he's doing to his people. You people cannot say anything. You people still allow that man to be living, giving order. Federal government people are biased and wicked. Your power is only with the Niger Delta and the Igbos. But God, one day, I know one day, everything will end.
That is the situation in Nigeria. It's good that some of them are speaking up. Just like he said, if what is happening in the north happened in the southeast, old southeastern region, which includes the Niger Delta region, they are going to arrest both traditional rulers and the whole place will be leveled. They did that in Okwama. They did that in Udi. And in so many other events where communities were wiped out completely because of issue that doesn't even concern us. But in the north, we have seen constant killing of the military and generals. Recently was the beheading of 8 soldiers, yet no community have been wiped out. Instead, they try to cover the atrocities by telling us that Boko Haram released 400 people. Boko Haram released 400 people to you and beheaded 8 soldiers. And that is Nigeria. They brought out that story of release to calm that very news so that it doesn't fly. But we are here, and the world is watching. Wherever you are, you have a responsibility to do your part. Don't allow anybody to blackmail you. Don't allow anybody to intimidate you. No matter the lie they bring from right, left, and center, continue to stand your ground.